Well, hello everyone. Oh, yeah, well, I have to see this first. Yeah, let me know if it looks and sounds good on your end because we have kind of a crazy setup right now for painting. It looks like it's working just fine.
Hey Chrysanth, how are you? Check your emotes. I put something in there for subscribers today.
Sounds good, looks good, fantastic. Okay. Well,
Want to make sure. Okay, that.
yeah,
Okay,
that is
good to
live.
go.
Okay. Hooray! It works. So, yeah, this is painting is back. Yes, my husband made me lovely emotes. He's a wonderful, horrible man. Okay. So, painting. I decided I want to bring back paint. So I printed up this lovely, Lord of the Harvest. I figure it's right in season. This is a beautiful model here. From it probably not because it's white on white. Witch Song Minis. And for making this model, I printed up on my Photon resin printer. Um, Most of you probably watch me paint. So, but if you're new here and you haven't, um, I'm not a professional. We're not going for competition level painting here. This is for absolute pleasure. Just looking to make something I like and enjoy the process of painting it. So yeah, suggestions, constructive criticism, welcome. Just don't expect this to be like Golden Demon quality work. Definitely not at that level. Um, Also, the camera setup. So this camera really isn't. And when I say this camera, I mean like one here. Uh, Not designed for what it is being used for. About every 30 minutes, it's going to shut off. It's just gonna happen and I have to reset it. It only takes like 5 seconds, so it shouldn't be a big interruption, but just so you know, that's gonna happen. Um, yeah, so let's get painting. I didn't do any base coating on this, which I immediately regret not doing off stream because that's kind of the boring part, and we've got to do some base coating on it. First, I did some color testing on the base, and I'm glad I did because some of these colors don't read the same on the model as they do in the bottle, particularly so. So I figure we'll start with the face, the hat, the coat, because those are what I want to paint. That's what we're gonna do. So let's do that. I'm gonna start off with a pretty dark base. Uh, it's called Evil Red, and it doesn't look red. It looks purple, but it's a nice warm dark color. We're gonna do on the face. Oh my gosh, 30, yeah, 30 shades of brown. That model still isn't done, and it's because there's just so much highlighting, so it doesn't look like a turd. I have to finish it though, because Mummy's Mask is almost done. Like everyone else's is pretty good. Alistair's is not. No, I wanted to pick something seasonal. My favorite thing this time of year is pumpkin everything. Yes, I'm that kind of person. Um, and I figured this was right up the alley. There's also another one that this same company, Witch Song Minis, makes that's like a snowman yeti that I'm thinking I will probably also do for like around Christmas time. You know, snowy time. Let's see here. You're probably not gonna be able to see this color go on a whole lot because it is pretty dark. But it is what I'm using as the undercoat on the face. And probably the coat, because the coat I think I'm gonna do like a, not do that, crimson red. That's the plan, a crimson red coat. I don't know about the pants, probably something neutral. But I do eventually want to get in with a very small brush into like the mouth and eyes. Make him actually look like a and I may go off camera sometimes because I am getting used to the setup. My husband is helping, so if the camera moves, that's better. Okay. Fantastic. Halloween is the icing on the cake. Yeah, fall is like the best season where I live. I live in New York. Okay. Trying to make sure this is on the camera so you can see it. With also my face not being in the camera. So. Up here. A lot of like incredible in him. I was trying to decide like if it would be best to paint this because it's in two pieces. I had to glue it together. It's a pretty big model. And I was like, do I want to paint the upper torso because this bit is glued into the bottom like legs and pumpkin bit, and I was just like, I don't do that. I might regret that decision as I start to paint more, so we'll see. I think for the most, his torso is all coat. So he's got some belts and tears in it, but I think we can pretty much go on and do coat. It's gonna be like a that's the this and this will dry almost black. You know, it can look bright. It's not gonna, which was sort of the point of doing some test swatches on the base. I knew if I put it on, I wouldn't paint everything purple. How is everyone this Sunday morning? You're having your coffee or brunch? This was just a good time for me. It's like I'm up, I've had my coffee. You know, the day hasn't gone into full swing yet. So, it's a good time to paint, relax, and do some. No, hang on. We gotta get back in camera. Okay, let's lean forward. That's better. Front of it. We won't paint. Getting ready for lunch. Yep. I'm gonna paint as long as I can. I do still have errands, but it's better to do this in the morning. Don't get lazy in the afternoon. And this is a thin coat. We can do another. I don't think we need another, but going with thin coats mentality. Oh, this is another tear leaf here where his like little wicker arm shows through. It's hard for you to see. I'll try and get good pictures of the model as we progress so you can kind of see where it's going. You know, red. As you can see, like on his lapel, it already looks pretty dark, and that will just be the base for the red. That will be the coat. Got some little belts. You know, maybe if we get paint on them. That's okay. We're gonna paint from anyways. And I probably will only do the upper. Probably will not go down and do the big flowy bits here on it behind. We'll do those later with a bigger brush. It'll just be here, and it'll be bold. Let's see, he's got his lapel. Or if the shoulder thing. So part of the coat. I think once we get some paint down, that might be easier to determine. And then we'll decide what we're gonna do. I think it is part of the coat. Hello. That's a big miniature. Hi, Frosh. Yeah. This is like a statue. Like it's a little statue, but it's bigger than like if you were painting an army. And despite my love of painting small-ish things, I don't play any tabletop war game. Don't particularly like playing them. So you won't ever really see me painting Custodes or Necrons or Orcs for 40k or anything like that. It's not particularly my jam. I hope it looks good. I am aiming for something that I am happy with. My standards are low. I keep them low intentionally because despite like trying to learn new techniques and get better, like this is something I do because I enjoy. It is, you know, that this is my hobby of creation. You know, where you can take some pride in the work of the end product of it. I'm going to try to do some like light, you know, cast off from the lantern, and light is something I struggle with greatly in my models. understanding how light plays on things. So this model was also chosen as a practice for that, to hopefully get better at that. So we'll attempt. To stay on camera here. You can yell at me if I get off camera. This is my first time back. Haven't done it in a while. So I think this bit up here is just part of the coat. Maybe it's not. It's part of the shirt. Gosh, it's hard to tell. Yeah, I think it is separate. I think it's going to be a separate color. We'll try not to get too much purple on it here as we paint. Okay. We've got a good... Yeah, let's put it this way. Beautiful. Yeah, it's better. I think we probably have a good, decent base here. We probably want to let that dry. Might have to come back in. Do a little more here. We're gonna get it on the back cape-ish thing. Nothing we can do about it. That's okay. We're gonna paint over it anyways. Happy accidents. I take the Bob Ross approach. We're doing this for the joy of it. Let's not take it too seriously. Okay. Let's put him down. That's his face and coat. It's very dark. He's very subtle. You probably can't see it too well, but these are the undercolors for the shadows that will build up onto its like a whole part of his arm. Hang on here. We missed like this whole bit of arm. Okay. Let's let that dry. Trying to decide if I think we need more. We'll see. Let's put the base on his hat. I want him to have a straw hat. And I'm thinking, as like your tone, it is this color. Hard to see. These are all mostly Vallejo paints, model paints, or the new game color, which are the ones. This one is just a model color, and it's actually called Japanese Uniform World War II. Because Vallejo does a lot of like and stuff like that. In addition to like their new game line, which is quite nice. Their new but I think this is gonna be like good undercolor. Probably the 80s. Oh no. I found this hobby by like complete random. And within a few months of being like, I want to paint. And like when I say I want to paint, not even play minis. Like give you an example of one that I haven't finished. Everyone who paints, shame. Like cute, adorable fantasy stuff. This is a what the heck? Platypus. Like a platypus Van Helsing. He has a little hat that goes with him. Like stuff that I'm not terribly artistic. Oh, they weren't like they're cast in the like the metal cast ones, the pewter ones. Oh, you can still get those. Some companies still make almost everything's like or resin now. These are resin. It's an ABS resin that I printed in, but I just want to paint things that I like. I like art. I like trying to be artistic. I'm not horribly successful at it most of the time. I can write. Writing can be. I like color. I want to make something physical and hold it. Do his hat. Face his hat. Do the underneath first. We are definitely gonna bring this up. But I thought this is like a good mid-tone with some fluff. More straw-ish. I wanted I don't mind. Here. Don't mind if a lot of the dark primer shows through because I do want this to be somewhat spooky. And having a lot of like darker shadows and undertones will be good. I think so anyways. That might be okay that I put a little more there though, because if I am gonna try and do, I'm gonna see a lot more where the lantern casts it doesn't, and that's kind of in that area, so might be okay. Under hat. Let's scrape off the bottom. Turn him around. Um, one thing I need to invest in is magnifying. Because I am blind in general. And even on models like this, I've got to closer than I book. Super. Why are they hostile to you about writing a book? That's a... Oh, first shut off. Un momento. 1, 2. Ta-da! See, I told you it'd only be a second. It is the price of using a photo camera as a video camera. Allegedly, you can fix it, like the settings or the software. We've not been ambitious enough to try and mess with it. Oh, I see. Well, this person, have they invested the time and energy and thought to make such a creation? Usually the ones who complain are the ones who contribute the... We don't need XXX from white man. Okay, then you do it. I can't do that. I have no inclination to do that. If you hear my daughter, she's having a rough time at the moment downstairs. You probably got into something she shouldn't be. That's usually the case. Oh my gosh, I remember hearing about that. I kind of feel like I don't like this color as much as I thought I would. But it's on there now. So we deal with it. Looks a bit green. But that could just be because there's so much of the underneath. I guess it doesn't look green on camera necessarily. Eh. Okay. See, what do we want to do? Why don't we do the face? Hey, what? Why?
Mara was playing with you.
Oh. I see the crying that I heard earlier was my daughter not quite making it to the bed on time. Oh, why did it do it again? I don't know. You're gonna have to tell me. My husband said the battery might be dying. I can't tell. I think it's still good. I can't tell. Oh, it might not be. Honey, the battery might have died. Okay. Okay, hang on. Old man splaining. Yeah, I think it is dead because I flipped it and it didn't come back on.
Fully charged, so. Yeah, we gotta work on a better setup for this. You need like a GoPro or something.
Yep. Well, this thing is not a video camera.
It can be used as one, but just I don't know. My mom's never been able to help me figure out exactly how to make it work. Fucked it up. Work? Nope.
Slight technical difficulties. Don't worry, I stopped painting. I think they can see that because that's on the other. Quick! Hooray! Right? Yay!
Yep, there we go.
Put that one on the charger. Because we've only been doing this for 35 minutes.
Well, we had it messing.
Oh, well, yeah, we were messing around a lot with it before.
It needs an AC adapter.
Yeah, that would be helpful. Okay, lovely. What was I saying? Oh yeah, we start seeing some of this thing's face. That's what I feel like doing. And mostly I'm going to use this color. You can see it. This is Vallejo Game Color. This one is Orange Fire. And it looks... Oh no, not that one. Ooh, don't listen to me. I lied. Not that one. It'll be like bright orange if I use that one. It's this one, which is called Hot Orange. Hot Orange, which looks a bit red. It really doesn't come out red at all when you put it on the model. So, that was sort of the point of testing out some of the colors on the base that have the little pumpkins, because what a color is going to look like in the bottle versus what it is on the model can sometimes be vastly different. And in the case of oranges, which can be quite transparent, this was in fact the case. It is quite transparent, but it's way more orange than it looks in the bottle. So we'll probably need several coats of this. Likely 3 to 4 is what I'm thinking. I'm not watering it down a whole lot because I know it's quite transparent. Okie doke. Okay. You can see it's super transparent. Or pull them back. That help focus him more. That did not. I'm trying to get like a good focus shot for you. There you go. Okay, so that's about where focus is. There is orange on there. You can sort of see it. Orange can be quite transparent. So he'll definitely. Now we gotta do like side and back of his. We'll probably do one more coat of this color in particular. Let's do this. It's gonna be easier to do. I am specifically not really putting it in the crevices because I want the dark details to show through. I want it to have a bit of a gritty look. Having some darker shadows in there, I think, help. Plus, by not totally going to the, we're gonna get some of that warmer, evil red that we put down to come. We'll also have it with some. And since his head is supposed to have be a jack-o'-lantern fire in it, I want it to That's his mouth. Oh, no wonder I couldn't see it because it's not there because it's part of his mouth. His mouth extends farther than I thought it did. That's why I couldn't see the space that I needed to put my brush. It's not, it doesn't exist. Not there. Beautiful. Let's let that dry. Let's see how. Actually, do I want to do that or do I think I need a little more of the dark on the coat? I think for the coat, I do want some more. The face, I think one coat was enough to put under the orange, but I think I want more of the evil red on the coat as a base because I do want the coat to read quite dark, and so we might not put as much of the next over color on it. So let's do that. I'm gonna get my surface brush, face coating, not fine detail. So let's actually, while the face dries, let's do that. We're not going to go over every area again. Anything that's probably going to fall in shadow will let read more black. Places where the light or would naturally probably be lighter, or what we're probably going to pick up and just bring up ever so slightly with more of this. It'll kind of give us a guide of where to put our mid-tone and things again. It'll be hard to see, but it'll be there. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm happier with that. So hard to see on camera because that's a very dark color. What is there? You can tell it's so. Okie doke. But the orange looks good. I think we can bring that up another layer. And while the second coat in that dries, we can see how the red's on the. I think that's a good plan. Oh. No idea what my daughter is doing, but she's opening and closing my door. I am upstairs. I'm in like the attic. That's where I stream from. Let's see. He has some like nasal cavities here that I really don't want to put my brush in. Like have to get around them so you can like see the feature exists. Now we're starting to see the things. Now it's sitting a bit more opaque. What is this video? Hi, history eraser button. You need to get a light behind the camera. It's dark. Well, honey, we need a lot of things. This is a Section 8 painting setup. Need a GoPro. Need many things. Hello, history eraser button. This thing is called the Lord of the Harvest. Lord of the Harvest. So he's like a jack-o'-lantern. Reaper wielding. He's got this Reaper here on his side that I think looks like a maw, like a jawbone. And I kind of want to paint it that way. It just looks like something ripped out of something's mouth to me. So, plus any excuse to use like my favorite blood paint is good. I like my clear. but his face is starting to come in. I think we can probably go in with our itty bitty brush next time and start doing some highlights to give him some texture. I think that'll be good. But you gotta let that dry sufficiently so we don't rip the paint up. The critical you want. I don't want to rip the paint up, so let it dry and we'll test out one of my other favorite colors for the coat, which is gory red, which will not look quite so bright on the model. It should come out a crimson, especially since we put down the that undercoat of the evil red. It's quite a bit of a warm. Yeah, this should be. Let's see here. Because this is fabric and I want it to look a bit more worn, modeled, just become 42% aged and have some more character than, like, say, a pristine robe. I am kind of gonna be dotting this on because it will give the fabric, we can come in and we can do some more texture with a bit of a lighter red. Have one that's more scarlet that we can use as a bit of a highlighter. We want the coat to read this color, but I don't want it to look bright. This guy's probably out in the field, just come to life. Clothes should look like that out in the elements. We want to give that effect. We want it to read red. We want it to look worn. And some of this stuff is what I struggle with most in mini painting, is understanding that you don't have to paint something flat one color for people to see it and visualize it in that color. It doesn't happen to work that way in color theory. Believe me, I shouldn't be proselytizing about because I am no artist, but I am learning and attempting to apply theories into paint. And I hope to get better at it each time I try. You know, I have my window open and I'm realizing that was a bad idea because it is fall and people are leaf blowing. And also that. Just remember, folks, if my camera turns off, the stream didn't end. The camera I'm using not designed for video, so it will, about every 30 minutes, shut down. I will reset it, or the battery will die, in which case my husband will replace it. We are on a limitedly functioning setup to do this, which is why I don't do it often. Because I just don't have the correct equipment to do it absolutely properly. Probably gonna be more toward like the little scrappy. I think you can already see. Get that focused in a little better. That it looks a bit more red than it did. And with another like coat to really pick it up, the coat will end up reading. I haven't put it everywhere because I want there to be shadows and I want it to be dark. I don't want this to be a bright and happy piece. We want it to be like a gritty fall Harvest Lord looking guy. And we've not gone down here yet, so let's start going here. What, that area didn't really get a lot of the purple in it. I might go back over that before I apply any red there. is if there is going to be a lot of shadow, and there will be because there's lots of folds up in his shoulder, then I wanted to read the purple and not just. Uno momento, por favor. Good? Okay, we're good. Hair in the sleeve here. I want to make that bright too, so that one's. Oh, he's got 2 tears. I lied. There are 2 tears in. I didn't realize at first. Come down, let's see. So right now, it looks a bit brown, but that's okay. Because as we put another layer on, I think you'll start to pick up the red more. And you know, right now we're using much darker colors. So when we start picking up like brighter colors, like the scarlet and like the fire orange, you're gonna start to see more and more what those colors are meant to be. Okay. As we will see momentarily here with the face, which we're not going to do a ton of this color. because it is really meant to highlight it. Kind of worried it won't be bright enough, but I just put it on the palette and it looks neat. So I think now I'm like, is it too bright? We're gonna find out. Let's find out. And plus, like I said, orange has the tendency to be quite transparent. So let's pick a place that would be highlighted, and we have some ridges here on the side of his head that we can cut on. Yeah, this is quite bright. The crap is this bright. we will not need another highlight color. This will do. This is super bright and quite opaque. Actually, I'm kind of impressed at how opaque this orange is. It is kind of dipping into yellow though, so that's not quite as surprising. We're going to be very sparing with this and where we highlight with it. We'll be a little more generous around the mouth because he is going to be a jack-o'-lantern. And so there is going to be, once I get a long thin brush into his sort of mouth and eye jack-o'-lantern holes, to get like a bright yellow or warm color in there for light. I thought about doing green, because you know, spooky Halloween color. But don't have like a neon green, like weird ghouly ectoplasm color, and that's what I'd want to use. Trying not to cover his face. Oops. But it's a little difficult, so. I don't if you can let me put him down for a second. It's hard to see here. Maybe if I tip him up. I mean, yeah, it's hard to see on this camera. This orange is so much brighter than the other orange. It's ridiculous. It's several steps up. And it does not look that way in the bottle. Hmm. Yeah, it is not coming through on the camera. It's just way brighter. Trying to, you guys see, but one thing I am gonna try here. Let me see. I want to go into some of the cracks. Don't want mixing up a darker orange to go in some of the low areas on. So they're not totally black. Especially like around his eyebrows here. I want there to be definition, but I really want everything and highlighted to look black. What's up? Well, honey, it's not, I can't see the problem. He's blind. Yes, he's blind. Much blind. He'll need some more highlights. But he's coming along. Alright, let's go. I want to try. Now this is going to want this. Very red, but I don't think it will come off. We'll add a second coat of this is also very red. It's gonna make it read so much more red, but I want to see how it looks dried before I really start laying in on the red, because red can be very red very fast. Let's just see, once that little bit dries, how we can maybe paint. Not. Where is my favorite? I have it somewhere. It's actually not a Vallejo color, believe it or not. It's oh, you know what? I don't think I have it over here since I moved the paints around. Color. What is this called? Something to be. That's quite. What do we got for browns? Chocolate. Mocha. Oh no, that. Wood gray. Flat earth. What is this one? Flat brown. Maybe that's probably a good base to build up from. Flat brown. Why not? We gotta shake it down. We gotta shake the paint. Is he just a holiday display decoration, or is he going to be table players? I wish I had more people to play locally with, because I would totally make a stat block for this guy. Be a great little baddie for a one-off holiday campaign. That'd be awesome. But he'll probably just be display. You can't see it behind me now, but all my Christmas Lord, my Halloween decorations are up. He'll probably just be display, or I don't know, a gift for someone. I do this for fun, so I do have a display of some of the other little ones I've made to date, so I can probably join them. Uh-oh. You need the pin. You don't want to explode the bottle. I've done that before. Sometimes you have to. come in and I like horror and supernatural themes a lot, especially in tabletop. I think they just work well with tabletop. Um, like, you know, Call of Cthulhu, Alien, Morkborg. There's one I found out about recently that looks super cool called Don't Rest Your Head, which is all about like insomniacs, and you become a part of this, like, I think they call it the awakened world at the 13th hour, and Harvest Festival scenario fantasy game. See, stuff like that is fun. I like playing games like that. And I'm a big believer too. Like, yes, long standing campaigns can be great, but I often find myself like wanting something different. Doing a very long standing campaign can be somewhat tiresome sometimes, so I like games that can have a shorter or more segmented form of play and storytelling. Because maybe you do, you know, 1 to, I don't know, 5 or 6 sessions of something, and then it's like, cool, what do we want to do next? Maybe we want to do another story in this universe, or hey, maybe we want to try something like, I don't know, something in space now if we were doing Call of Cthulhu, or this brown is really opaque. Holy crap. Do something like Don't Rest Your Head or Morkborg, which are like darker. Did you ever see the Al Pacino movie where he's a detective and he goes to Northern? Oh yeah. Oh, what's that called? What's that movie called? My husband would know. I know exactly what you're talking about. That's a great movie. That's a great movie. Is it called Insomnia or Insomniac or something like that? So yes, because it. Yep. This brown, look, I'll set him down because my hands are in the way. It's difficult to do this. This brown is so much more opaque than the other paints. It's so much more opaque. I mean, that's okay. It's leather, so it's fine, but gosh, is that more opaque. I think there's a bit of leather on this side too. Yeah, there is. Like, the belt kind of comes out of the coat over here. Okay, there. From 2002. Yeah, that movie's great. But I like systems that are kind of like, they're not necessarily rules light, but they're not as rules intensive as Pathfinder. I mean, Pathfinder's okay. Pathfinder's crunchy, which I like. It's definitely my favorite system like that. But I also like games that are more rules light, where there's a bit more freedom for role playing and interpretation. It's sort of like not necessarily everything has like the specific. I also found one. Oh, that red looks good. Actually, see, I thought this red would be too bright on his collar, and I actually don't think it is. I think it, if applied in the right places, that will be just fine. It can't go everywhere, that scarlet red, but it will be just fine. Mm-hmm. With resource to interfere with resource recovery, yeah. And you can do that in almost any system. Because I think most, now, this is just on me, I think there are a lot of like actual rules that get ignored in the bigger systems. A lot of times it's carry weight. Who counts the weight of their gold that you carry in? Like nobody. Rations and food. Who actually uses the survivals and scavenger and foraging rules in D&D and Pathfinder? Like no one. Right? Because like it is, you can quite literally starve in Pathfinder and D&D. And like no, but when was the last time you ever heard about a party member in any campaign you've ever heard of starving to death? Like no character ever goes out that way that I have ever heard of. Like, and if you were to actually like implement those, and like, you were in a land with little resources, and like a big part of what you have to do is survive in the struggle to do that. Would be a great way in those systems to really, ratchet up tension, ratchet up, that more thrilling aspect of the game, especially if you're doing something spooky. If you're in like a stuff like in Pathfinder. Dead live. Okay. Let's do some more of the correct. Yep. Like harsh penalties for not eating. Oh, camera shut off, guys. Uno momento. which should be the last time, because I think after I do the red on this coat, that'll have been about 2 hours. So I think I gotta stop because I still have to go grocery shopping. Oh, I'm so afraid to put these colors on. They do not come out as bright as they do on the palette. Gosh, do they look so bright on the palette? I'll have to hold up and show you the palette once I'm done, because the colors on it do not look like the colors on the model. They just don't. Like at all. Like, based off what I have on the palette, you would think this thing is going to come out looking like a candy colored mess. But they just don't translate that way. They don't dry anything like that. Look at the new hello, fantastic. Yes, my husband made me subscriber emojis. He's done 2 so far, but there will probably be more to come, so you can thank my husband for your hard taco emojis. The casting call for the upcoming Starfinder, shall we say, Cassandra Dominant? Hey, it's this tabletop is by and large a male dominated hobby. That is just a real life fact. So, yes, the casting call is very testosterone dominant. So I don't know how much I should say. I know of a female interested in Kingmaker, but I have not any inkling of if there's any female interest for the Starfinder show. I don't know if it's just genre or availability, it is a weeknight. And Kingmaker, I think, is going to retain the Friday night slot on the tabletop channel. So it could be any number of things. Oh, someone joined. I can't read it from here. Let me see. Hang on. I'm gonna get up. Darth Vader? Oh my god, stream. Yes. Sorry. The way my cameras are set up, I have to stand up to read on my computer screen because my painting station is at the other end of the desk from where my regular streaming setup is. I'd apply, but one, I'm busy Tuesday nights. No one wants. I don't hate you, Vanessa, and don't say no one wants to watch you. I think if you enjoy watching and you don't have an issue with, sometimes making a fool of yourself, you're gonna be fine if you want to be on stream, if you have the equipment. You can't certainly take yourself too seriously. I'm gonna josh around with you. The crew is gonna josh around. Chat is definitely gonna screw with you. So you paint orcs. I don't paint tabletop battle minis. I paint whatever I like and print on my resin print, which right now is this Lord of the Harvest little statue dude. Darth Thinker. That's what we're doing right now. So. Might be interested. Yeah, if you think someone might be interested, tell them to come over. Tell them to throw their name into the mix. Throw that hat into the ring. I'm pretty much happy to DM anybody. I will say that I am an extremely laid back GM. So if someone is a bit of a rules lawyer or a bit uptight, we might not get along. I'm known for taking things seriously. Yeah, but not in a rules lawyer way. I'd imagine fantastic. Not like, you can't do that. The rules say X, and I say yes, but as GM, I say it's more interesting to do Y. Doesn't break the game. It's more enjoyable for the cast and the viewers, and that's what my decision is to do. Okay. I'm just taking a quick look at him, and I thought to myself, now the coat looks orange. I don't know, because the lighting is real terrible on my desk right now. I only have one overhead ring light. That is how I grew up playing tabletop in college, which is when I played the most, and we would play D&D. We would play until we were way too drunk to play, and we'd smoke. the cigarettes. Like back then, you could get clove cigarettes, Djarum Blacks. You can't anymore. Obama outlawed them. But and that's what we would do until we were too drunk and disinterested to play, and then just BS all night, or decide we wanted to play a game of Magic. Like that's what we would do. And it was great. And I have a lot of fond memories of doing that many nights. There's I'll tell you the story before I go. Of me and my friends playing D&D. And so we had a friend who was kind of sheltered, kind of a quiet kid, but he was playing with us, and our friend who was running the game at the time was like, you enter the courtyard, it's abandoned all except for a gazebo. And my friend Alex goes, well, what's the gazebo doing? And the DM's like, it's not doing anything, it's a gazebo. Like, shoot it with my arrow. He's like, now it's a gazebo with an arrow in it. And, clueless friend gets really upset. He's like, you didn't even roll damage. And just baffled that this friend does not, none of us are saying any, all of us are kind of looking at each other like, do we tell him what a gazebo actually is? Because clearly he doesn't know what a gazebo is. Well, we're not saying anything, so after him getting mad at the DM for being like, you didn't even roll damage, our DM dropped something on the table. He's like, did you just roll a candy bar? And he's getting mad, and the DM is like, you know what? Yeah, critical success, you are now dead. Because he's just like, we're like, how do you not know what a gazebo is? How do you not, yes, gazebo's sworn enemy. But it was like, and I just have little moments, gems like that from playing games that I think you remember because they're so ridiculous and they're so fun. I have been known to ask questions from rules calls. I'm just asking questions, Ventura. But it's one thing if it's like, no, legit, the rule doesn't work that way, and it's like a main rule, and it has a consequence on a success or a fail for something that you are trying to do, especially when it is very important. I will never fudge dice rolls. I don't believe in that. If I roll something, it is what it is, for better or for worse. But if we are going to fudge rules for the enjoyment of the game, especially when it's not something uber critical, I'm all down with that. Don't make me roll for wandering. Oh, it's so true. There's so many little things like that if you really wanted to be a dick about as a GM, you just could, and it would be miserable for so many people. Okay, guys, I think for painting today, we made some decent, level 1 entry level progress here. We've done a good bit of the face. He needs some more highlighting. Obviously, we did the base coating on the hat and the bits of chest on the waistcoat, and also leveled up some bits of it, which I've decided now that I've put the scarlet red in more places, now makes the coat read orange, which I don't like. It doesn't read red anymore. Now I'm feeling like it's too orange, so we're gonna have to tone that back. But those are problems for another painting stream to deal with. So we'll do that again. Probably I'm gonna try and do this weekly. And it'll always be around 11 a.m. on Sunday, like brunch time Sunday, because that's when I have time. And I will probably do some painting off stream because I do want it done by Halloween. So things like base coating, like the big flowy bits at the back, and maybe some of the base, and other little things like that, I will do off stream so we can do more fun painting on stream. But I thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday. I will see you again Wednesday for Octopath. And of course Friday's over on Geeks and Gamers Tabletop for Mummy's Mask. So I hope you all have a great day. I have to stand up to turn the stream off. I'm saying goodbye.